Vadd here, and welcome to the Titan Fights. That's right, we are gonna fight some Titans. If you have joined us before, hey, welcome back. We are on our way to our first Titan fight, and we are going to fight the Turkey Titan. I really think the Turkey Titan is the most approachable of all the Titans. It doesn't mean it's going to be an easy fight, but I think it's the one to start with. And we're going to use another trick on Skeletor, the Transmute Shrine. That's right, for a few Prime Heart relics, we can summon in a Titan. We can use this to summon in lots of Titans. Actually, all the Titans except for the eel can be summoned in this way. Things to know about the Titan Turkey. It's kind of a wimp for the first couple of million health. Yes, you heard that right. It has millions of health. 8.8 for this one. There's a little bit of a variability in the health pool in the Turkey, like any creature in an Overhaul mod or just an ARK in general. It's going to be a tough fight, and it's going to be a fight that you probably are going to die repeatedly in, because the Titan Turkey seems like they're just kind of not that dangerous until you find out they're exceptionally dangerous. They summon in Mega Dimorphodons, and on the way back to this fight, I thought I'd just pick up this egg, but then my Rex betrayed me. So that's cool. Just me versus the Wyvern. Just gonna have to fisticuff my way out of here. And the weird thing was, my Rex didn't actually just run all the way down there. It kind of stopped halfway, and I have no idea what's going on here. Bottom line, it's not going to be a smooth fight, and I can already feel it. We're back. We're going to fight the Titan Turkey. Again, I wanted to nuke it. Anytime I can do damage from a distance and not risk my Tames, seems like a big win to me. So we're going to nuke it a couple of times and move in to fight this Titan Turkey. Titan Turkey is super dangerous. A couple of reasons it's dangerous. It summons those Mega Dimorphodons, which shoot those fireballs. That's pretty dangerous. In addition, the Titan Turkey also summons in bee minions. It's got those ant minions, those Tita Marinias. I don't know how you say them, little flying ant minion soldiers. It also brings in Apex Zom Dodos. And if all that was not enough, I've also noticed that a Prime Griffin always shows up for this fight. I never caught the Titan Turkey summoning in the Prime Griffin, but you know that Prime Griffin can ground you, so that's pretty dangerous. And lastly, Mega Kong. So Mega Kong also comes with Mega Kong's monkey minions, and a Ferox could summon him. So all in all, the Titan Turkey is super dangerous, and partially because it gets great help. Yes, it has a giant health pool, but the issue with the Titan Turkey fight isn't so much the health pool or the ranged attacks, it's all the fights you're all of a sudden involved in for this Titan Turkey fight. We got our first Titan kill, and I really think this is a great point to not continue your Dox playthrough. I don't want to discourage people from enjoying the mod, but it's only going to get harder from here. And it's not only going to get harder from here. Yeah, my Rex is unconscious. Apparently I'm getting Toper damage. Who knew? Classic. You can see in the Dox book, it even says the Titans are designed to be killed by large groups. They're really balanced around team fights. So we're really kind of pushing the limits to fight some of these beasts. I thought if I could kill the Titan Turkey with my Rex, could I get some buffed Golems in on this action? Could I ride the Doed so that way I'm getting that 50% defensive bonus to my Prime or my Ancient Golems? And can I ride them into the fight? Can I get it done with just 3 Golems? On the Doed, which I'm planning on buffing the Golems with, I just pumped health. I wanted to survive. On the Golems, I just pumped melee damage. I thought the Golems were going to wait for me below this cliff, but I'm wrong. They're just going to leave me in the dust, and they're a lot faster than I am. So far, Titan Turkey fight, I died. I lost my Rex on the way there, and then it was unconscious. Now for my next attempt, the Golems are making a runner, but we got to see something kind of fun here. The Titan Turkey actually drops these little loot boxes. Remember, Titans aren't aggressive. If you mess with them, they're going to mess with you. But in the early game, we could have followed around a Titan Turkey and picked up these fun little loot crates. These loot crates have all kinds of things we needed for progression, like Dox-specific metals and element. Of course, all my Tames left me, which is kind of awkward. Only thing more awkward than that is the fact that my Doed was faster without me on it. I don't know how that's possible, but here it is in regular speed. The Golems really took off, and they're going to go down fast and hard, and I'm not there to heal them, and I'm not there to buff them, so I don't know if this is really a fair trial. But as you can see here, this Titan Turkey has a little better than 9 million health. So there is some variation in the Titan's health, but expect the Titan Turkey at least to have more than 8 million health for sure. I'm currently sitting on what's considered in the Docs workshop, the Docs medium settings. Notice we got killed by the Mega there. It was the Mega Dimorphodon that kills us. We're going to clean up this fight with our Rex. The Megas are really dangerous, and it's tough to appreciate that until you start paying attention to what's actually killing me in the fights, what's dealing that last bit of damage here. Remember, on this Rex, I've only pumped 140 points into melee. This is a melee Rex, and I just want to do as much damage as I can. I don't think that's the way to go on the Titan Turkey. I think it will be better to pump more health points on your Rex, and I think it's time that we try again. Let's see if we can't get our hands on a Doed with a little bit more of a team environment. Here I've got 3 Ancient Poison Golems that all have only attack boosted, and the row behind them I have 3 Ancient Poison Golems that have only health points boosted. The Doeds both only have health points boosted. They've all got max saddles. I've obviously have the Docs enhanced corrupted Manticore armor with a max chest plate, and I'm only using the Rodan Pygmy. My biggest concern as a solo player trying to take these fights is my DPS. There's a 45-minute time limit. Remember, there's a 45-minute time limit to finish this fight. Now, the good news is I'm dead. I'm sorry. The bad news is I'm dead. The good news is that the Golem still killed the Titan Turkey. It was kind of wild. Came back, got the bodies. Not a big deal. What about our Rodan? We named this one Red, and you can see it's fully imprinted. We're going to try and take the Titan Turkey down with our Prime Rodan. Again, when you summon in a Titan, or when they summon into your world, there's a 45-minute timer. This is kind of a big problem, because if it takes you 5 minutes to get over there, all of a sudden you only have 40 minutes to take down this big health pool. I noticed with Rodan that I was doing good damage with these big kind of swoop dives, but I kept landing my mistake. That's just me not being good enough with Rodan. You should be able to kind of continue your pass through and bite him, I think. However, the time it was taking me to loop back around, I'm losing a lot of time here. I was really concerned that in 40 minutes, I would not be able to do the 9,400,000 damage I needed to do. And 40 minutes might be kind of generous. I might have had a little less time by the time the Titan Turkey was here and I got started with my fight. I decided I should just Rodan fire spin this one. My DPS here is better. My damage per second. What does that mean? It means in 2 minutes, if I can do 2 big swoops for 200,000 damage, or if I can stand here and tank some turkey shots and I can keep spinning, I might get 300 or 400,000 damage. The DPS, every second, I'm just doing more damage. In addition, I'm also clearing out all the minions. Remember, the Titan Turkey has bee minions, those ant minions, zombie Dodo minions. I swear there's a Prime Griffin that gets involved, but it's also got the Mega Dimorphodons and the Mega Kongs, and the Mega Kongs have the monkey minions, and they summon Feroxes. So my other concern with the Titan Turkey fight is that I might just get a Mega Kong who wasn't summoned into the fight involved with the fight if I mess with the Ferox. The good news is we're able to get the Titan Turkey down. The bad news is Rodan's asleep. I really had just the darndest time on just about every single one of these fights. Let's see what kind of loot we got from the Titan Turkey. Did we die a bit? Yes. Did we lose a lot of Tames? Again, yes. We lost every single Golem from our attack Golem fight, but we did get the turkey killed. We just came back to the beach and Mega Kongs were hanging out. It was super awkward. The Titan Turkey's got good loot, nothing we haven't seen already. I really think, again, just to reiterate this point, this is a good time to say, wow, I've done the mod. I've completed what I wanted to complete. I've taken on a Titan. The only thing you might want is a trophy, and I really don't care about those, but sure, you've got a trophy to prove you killed the Titan Turkey. Other than that, all the loot we've seen before, we've gotten before from the Megas. There's nothing too fancy here. I don't think it's worth farming. I had a tough time figuring out what was a loot from a Mega or from the Titan. We're going to take the same Rodan out before, and we're going to try it on the Brood Queen. We're going to go a step up from what I think is the easiest Titan. Again, easy is such a subjective word here. And we're going to try and fight the Brood Queen. We had some issue with the Brood Queen on several accounts. Number one, these poison balls, these heat-seeking missiles, they actually hit really hard. And I could almost outrun them, but remember, as a solo player, our biggest problem here is DPS. I'm not worried about if I lose a Tame. I've got Tames stacked up to throw at these Titans. I'm worried, can I survive long enough to do enough damage to win these fights? You could see here I hit that Brood Queen hard. No problem with the damage, but I can't take that many hits. I tried to do some swoops, but I kept getting stuck on the Brood Queen. I think I needed to take a little bit of a different angle, to say the absolute least. The issue though, I came back in for the C-spins, and I could do okay as long as I didn't get in melee range. Her melee attack was hitting me for like 30, 50,000, but like that AoE, those shooty balls, they were hitting me for significantly less. See those 15,000s? I got a little too close there. Beyond having an issue with Toper and damage and visibility, I'm doing okay here, but what you want to know about the Titan Queen is that she's dangerous. A lot more dangerous than you think. See that big hit, that 49,000? Seems like she gets some critical hits. I have taken these Manticores and I've just pumped health points and or speed. I'm trying to outrun those poison balls. You can actually outrun them. They eventually despawn, but I needed so much speed, it wasn't worth having. And they really do hit very, very hard. I don't want to come out here on these ancient Manticores. Again, I've got the max settle. I've got the Rodan Pygmy. Now, maybe I didn't need the Rodan Pygmy here. Maybe that was a bad call. I might have been better off with the Penguin Pygmy with the Corruption Stone, or even just the Doed Pygmy. But I wasn't sure if I was going to nuke it or try and hit it with my tail attack when I came into the fight. So I was comfortable having the Rodan Pygmy on my shoulder. That being said, I think you do want to start off this fight with nukes, but I think you're going to need to have a much more tanky Manticore than I have to tank some of these long range attacks, because the other issue you're going to run into is I hit some of those poison explosions with my nuke missile and blew myself up, which is a huge problem. In addition to that, the queens seem to be protected under the water a little bit. They weren't actually connecting with her on several of the hits that were in range. Again, look at the health pool. Like, we just can't take that many hits and stay in this fight. It's not a reliable way to fight the Brood Queen unless I can get my hands on a tankier Manticore. Otherwise, we're really just getting blown up. We're going to come back here with our Rex, and this is going to be a little bit better of a strategy. You can see we got down 4 million health from just doing the nuke runs from a flyer. And I think that is safer. Maybe to use a cheaper flyer if you know you're going to go down. Maybe some Griffins might be a good way to go. Because when you get the Brood Queen down to right here, right about half health, that's when the fight goes from hard to impossible. You're going to hear that word a lot, impossible. This fight felt impossible. Did you see it right there? Yeah, poison golems. The Titan Queen summons in these prime poison golems and mega Aranios, and they all have their own spider minions. And remember, the mega Aranio can summon in a Bloodstalker minion, which can pull you off your mount. Let me say that all one more time. You show up to fight the big spider, it's got 10 million health. Once you get 5 million of the health down, you're desperately praying there's enough time left to finish the other 5 million, and the queen's like, hey, by the way, here's the poison golem. I know, the prime poison golem, the one that absolutely wrecks you. And by the way, here's mega Aranios. It might dismount you. You might just get topered out. Don't worry, I still have a giant health pool and hit for lots of damage. This Rex I'm using here at the start has only attack. I'm running these Rexes with 100, no less than 140 points into the damage stat. I really want to get my damage in, and I really am worried about the time. Most of these fights, I ran a clock next to me. They ran no less than 30 to 40 minutes. Consistently, these fights went almost down to the wire, and I wasn't timing it from when the Titans came in. I was timing it from when I started my fight. So I might have actually needed a lot more time than that. Every time I die, I've got to either go back and get my gear, have another armor set ready, or run a mob that's going to save my stuff, because every time I die, I need to get regrouped, I need to get back over to the fight and re-engage with the fight. So every time we die, it seemed to be around 2 to 3 minutes of time that we're not in the fight and we're not fighting. Here I showed up with a health Rex, and it just doesn't do enough damage. Like, we survive what seems like forever, and it seems like we do damage, but in reality, we need to run our damage Rexes. This health Rex, you know, the attack Rex did about 2 to 3 million damage before it died. The next attack Rex pulled another 2 to 3 damage before it died. Our health Rex did maybe 1 million damage, and then it eventually died. But the attack Rexes seem to be much better as far as our time investment. You know, if we died 3 times in this fight, then you could see we lost around 9 minutes of our 45 minutes. And then if we account for the fact that maybe the Titan Queen was in the world for 2 to 4 minutes before we even got over there, all of a sudden we have, you know, almost 10 plus minutes less to take down the Titan Queen. The Titan Queen is really a tough fight. And the hardest thing about this fight, beyond the time, the health pool, and the damage, it's the poison golems. Remember, you're taking poison damage from poison golems. You either need that corrupted chitin armor or the corrupted Dox enhanced Manticore armor to not take that extra damage from the poison. And that poison damage isn't something you want to forget about, ignoring the toper, the bleed, the stuns, you know, the screen AoE effects. We're going to get this fight done, but this was expensive, and she hits us with the big eaters. I don't know what she did there. She scared me half to death. I thought I was dead. The only thing exciting about getting the Titan Queen down is to find out we're still taking massive damage. I thought it was the spiders, so I cooked them. Was not the spiders. Was not the spiders. Turns out that the thing that was killing us was the poison golem. Yeah, there's a poison golem that somewhere in the fight got hung up on the hill here, and you can see we do almost no damage to this poison golem, and it does lots of damage to us. We're only able to bully the golem because we have health potions and like a lot more health, like 900,000 more health. But in all reality, if you're in a tribe setting, this is a whole different ball game. You could have someone running a tame that does well against poison golems, or just focus on taking those out of the fight. To have someone say, hey, look, I'm going to do all the work on the Titan Queen, kill the minions, come help me. Kill the minions, come help me. If you're in a tribe setting, you could have someone running the poison pistol or the rainbow pistol, something that's going to lower their damage by 10%, something that's going to slow them down. Like, those are huge advantages you could be using as a tribe. And maybe it's a tribe of 3, right? You get yourself someone on a Dodo with a pistol, you know, a good pistol to debuff your enemy. You get someone else running around cleaning up some of those prime poison golems. I like the idea. Now, maybe it's just more efficient to all group up on Mega Rexes and just chomp away. Maybe you just get it done that way. I just want to say that we killed ourselves. Yep, let's try again. How much time did we lose there? Several times when I went to film these fights, I knew that I died too early into the fight, that I lost enough time that I don't think I'm going to get these fights done. Killing myself there by accidentally discharging the nuke too close to us, I don't actually know what it hit, but it hit something, was pretty much dooming us from being able to finish the fight in time. That time limit as a solo player is kind of a big deal. That's why we're bringing these Rodan pygmies. I know that I would survive longer to do more damage if I didn't have that Rodan pygmy. But remember, the Rodan pygmy gives you 20% defense, 20% offense. It's supposed to set your enemies on fire, and it regens your stamina. I really think it's best in slot, but I would still encourage players to show up with that penguin pygmy with that corruption crystal. I think that would be better. You saw me using some of the Dox meats. We talked about that in previous episodes. I don't think it's really worth doing. I think that maybe it's worth doing, but overall the time I was in my inventory was time I was not biting. So even if it only took me 2 seconds, that's at least one attack. I'm sacrificing 18,000 damage for maybe a little more survivability. It might be worth doing at the start of a fight as you come into the fight, but I don't think it's really worth doing in the middle of the fight. Now, maybe if you're on a flyer and you can get away and there's some time in between your attacks, then maybe it might be worth doing. Can you see here with our Rex, this full attack Rex, we just genuinely do significantly more damage. And again, it's going to be a little bit dependent on your dock settings. The Dox Steam Workshop page has recommended settings. We're sitting here in the medium settings, and it's pretty much been a nightmare to get this fight. I was really hoping the Titan Turkey had better loot, because this is an expensive fight to get geared up for, and these are expensive tames to keep throwing at the Titans, and we haven't actually recovered any of our losses. you know, once you get efficient farming some of the primes or farming some of the megas, you can get yourself in a position where you can farm them regularly and you can turn a profit. Right now, the cost of these see, this is the HP Rex. The HP Rex just, I don't think does as well. I mean, we've got the max saddle, which is nice, but I don't think we do enough damage to justify it. It survives significantly longer, which you'd think the longer you're there, the more damage you could do, but in reality, it just doesn't even out. It looks like similar damage numbers even. It's just a couple of points different. Those couple of points really matter when we're talking about millions of health. This time, somehow the queen got like locked behind this rock and she can move around it. She's not pinned on it, but I couldn't target her until I climbed up around it. So I really lost some time there. I was kind of sad about that. Look, I really think as a tribe, you've got a lot of options here to bully these titans. If you could take advantage of some of those dock-specific weapons, if you could take advantage of maybe that Doed Pygmy that give a 50% buff, if you could all get on your Mega Rexes. But as a solo player, these tames are not only expensive, we never make back our losses. The amount of potions we use in this fight, we don't get back. The corruption potions, we just don't make back. The saddles, we're not getting, you know, top tier Rex saddles. We're not getting, you know, fancy armors per se, you know, not a full set of them. Anyway you swing it, the Titans don't actually give us anything we need. I really felt comfortable walking away from the Titans after killing the turkey. I felt like, okay, I fought the primes, I fought the megas, I took on the Titan turkey. This is nice. I'm going to take a long, deep breath. I'm going to sigh. I'm tired. It's been a long journey, but I'm also excited. I've overcome some real challenges, and I feel good about what my tribe has accomplished. That being said, moving into kind of these next level of Titans, starting with the Brood Queen, you're not going to get back the investment you put in. No matter how many times you kill this thing, there's no way it's going to get you back your armor. Repair your armor, repair your fat mans, your tames, your saddles, your potions. You can't get those things back in a meaningful way. Now, if you can successfully kill this without losing a tame, maybe, because then your armor might not need to be completely repaired, which it's a reasonable expense. Maybe you don't blow yourself up. Maybe you don't need to replace a saddle, and maybe then you can justify the health potions you burn through. All that being said, every time we use that corruption potion, we're rolling the dice if we're going to die or not. I keep circling it every time we're about to use it or using it, trying to show you what it looks like. It's there in the bottom of our toolbar. And that purple corruption potion, remember, it gives us a debuff. We either lose 50% of our attack damage, or we lose 50% of our movement speed, or we take 25% more damage. That's right. Using that potion in a lot of ways spells doom for us. I think it's worth doing for this fight on these Rexes in this scenario, because ultimately I'm really worried that we can't get these fights done. I mostly did not, and again with the big eaters. I don't know what she's doing up there, but she's just like balloons it up there. And again, we're left with the poison golem to fight. Classic. So far, so good. We got the Brood Queen done. The only thing we care about from the Brood Queen are if we got any soul crystals and primal drops. We finally have some primal summons. Those primal summons are absolute top tier tames. There's 3 tames in docks that are the absolute king of the mod. It's the Mega Rex. It's the Primal, not Prime, hear me, Primal Dragon and Primal Manticore. Just like all the other dragons and Manticores, if you put a head buff in them, you can get a permanent stat increase on them. They still need saddles. They've got some cool moves. They're better than your other tames, okay? So we talked about this in the very first episode, that you've got kind of these vanilla creatures. They've got a little asterisk. They're kind of the base level. And then we have, you know, some apex and then some primes and then ancients. And then above ancients, the absolute best tier, top tier in the Dox mod are these primal tames, these Primal Dragon and Primal Manticore. The only way to get them is to kill a Titan. You can't summon them in. You can't harvest an egg. You have to kill a Titan to get your hand on a primal tier, okay? So, what are we doing with these primals? We're going to use them as nuke platforms. We're going to pump all of them no less than 140 points into health points. Literally all of them. And we're going to show up and try and fight the Titan Eel. Remember I said you can summon all the Titans except the Eel from Skeletor to Transmute Shrine? Well, the Dox mod has a special summon for the Titan eel. And it's kind of fancy, it's kind of fun, it's a little expensive to do, but all you need is some water, you jump in, and you throw it down. After that, you prepare to suffer. Just kidding, maybe you won't suffer. In my case, it did this, which was kind of fun, and then it disappeared, which was kind of weird. I don't know where it went. I assumed it just summoned in behind me, so I kind of panicked, but it turns out it decided to go underground and then come out of the underground aggressive at me, crash my game, and kill me. Awesome. This was just how I wanted this fight to start. No worries, we'll just die to electric shock. We're used to that by now. Okay, so we're back. We lost some time, just gonna have to live with it, what's new, and we're gonna nuke the Titan eel. Our goal here is to not die. That's literally the only thing we care about, because the only way we get primals is by killing the Brood Queen, which is super expensive, and maybe it'd be better to use a cheaper tame, but I felt good that this is the tankiest tame I could possibly get at the best tier I could possibly get. I probably shouldn't have a Rodan Pygmy on my shoulder. That was a mistake. All that being said, the Titan eel not only has a huge life spool, but it's wicked dangerous. It hits way too hard, and it has these big AoE electric balls it sends out. I think you could dodge them if you really wanted to. I'm intending to tank it. So far, so good, but somehow we're dead. I don't know what killed us there, but something did. We'll try again. Another thing to know about the Titan eel is it summons in mega eels. So you don't want to fight this near anyone's base because, well, I mean, you don't want to fight any Titans near anyone's base because all of a sudden you not only have a Titan fight with these huge AoE fireballs, but you also have a mega fight with the eels. Okay, that was weird. Looks like those Titan eel balls, we don't have good visibility on them. And again, our nuke missiles here seems like they can hit those balls and then explode far too close to us and blow ourselves up. So they're just about invisible, it seems sometimes. Oftentimes you can see them, other times not. When you see that tail whip, you're probably dead. It's pretty rare you see that tail whip and okay, we're dead. If you see that tail whip, you're probably dead. I stand by that statement. Hey, the Titan eel, I thought about taking a Rex into, but it seems to hit for, 300,000 plus damage through my Rodan Pygmy, Corruption Stone on my toolbar, my Dox Enhanced Corrupted Manticore Armor with Max Chest Piece, and through the health potions. I'm at full health, and fairly routinely, I get just about obliterated by the eel. Again, somehow we killed ourselves. Sometimes I feel like it shoots out more electric balls than other times. I'm running out of Primal Tames. This is not only an expensive fight, it's a long fight, and I'm getting kind of nervous here. Remember, every single time that we die, we lose time in these fights. We need every second to count. I thought that we could just kind of pop it, get it out of the sand here. So I threw down another moment of death. I have no idea why it killed me like that, but I do know I'm not going to try that again. We'll just stick to nuking it from space, killing it with fire, cutting off its head, salting the earth. I don't want to go near this thing. It's just too dangerous, and I think maybe you could try and dodge some of the hits and work around it. I think maybe you could try it with some ground tames. As a solo player, this is the best way to deal damage to it. I don't have anything that does anything more than that. Oh, there it goes. See, there's 3 of them. There's these 3 big hits, and they go out in that AoE. So there's 9 total blasts. Okay, well, Titan eel's down. At what cost, though? I mean, just at what cost? You can just see the Manticore bodies everywhere. Honestly, this was not only an exhausting fight, it was a long fight, and it just felt bad to keep losing Primal Tames. I think I should have showed up maybe with a cheaper nuke platform. The only thing we care about are Primal drops and the crystals. Sure, it's got nice drops in its loot table, but there's nothing here that we need other than the Rex summons. That's right, you can get a Mega Rex summon from killing this eel. If you can get efficient killing the eel, you can get some really good drops to really bump your tribe's progress along. Something you're going to need to know, you're going to want to know, is how to fly backwards. I'm going to teach it to you the way it was taught to me, and I'm not going to just say, hey, fly backwards. So here I am holding the backwards button. Isn't this charming? Look, I'm flying backwards. You gotta love the way I fly backwards, so fast. Now, what if I add some wobble? What if instead of just holding backwards, I also start tapping side to side? So on a keyboard, you're holding down S, and you're pushing A, and you're pushing D, and you're pushing A, and you're pushing D. And if I get a little bit of wobble, maybe I can get a little bit more speed, but you're forgetting something. I'm not sprinting yet. So let's try it again. Let's hold backwards. Let's add in a little bit of wobble. And as we add in the wobble and hold backwards, let's also start sprinting. Let's push that sprint button. Again, on the keyboard, it's going to be a shift key. All of a sudden, we have an opportunity, if you get a little better at this, to fly backwards with speed. This is important because you might want to be able to fly backwards around the same speed you fly forwards. Let's get into our first flying Titan. Yes, that's right, the Titan Manticore. This fight is just as exciting as all the other mega fights you've seen so far. I don't mean to downplay it. It's a tough fight, it's a long fight, and your only real option here is to nuke it. There's no other option. It's got too much health, it hits too hard, it's way too dangerous. I have these Primal Manticores, and I have 150 points in the movement speed. I tried some with 140 points in the movement speed, and the Titan Manticore caught up to me. Things to know about the Titan Manticore: it's going to summon in Mega Manticores and Zombie Fire Wyverns. It's a long fight, but it's a doable fight. But if you die once or twice, you probably don't have time to finish it. I needed every single second to line up these shots and to get in position to shoot down the Titan Manticore. You just pump movement speed, you outfly it, maybe you fly backwards if you're fancy, and then you blow it up. I understand that this might not be the most exciting thing to hear about and see. This is just the best way to do it. If you have a better way of doing it, hey, I would love to hear about that. This is a great moment to comment and say, hey, when I fought it, I did this. I would love to hear what you did. But for me, this is really the only thing that seemed viable to even relatively consistently have a shot here. Do not try and brawl with the Titan Manticore. You will die. It is far too dangerous. It has more health than you. I don't care about your health potions, your fancy armor. Remember, it's got that huge slow on it. It's just way too dangerous to brawl. And if you ignore the little zombie fire wyvern minions, don't forget it also has that mega manticore minions that summons in. Right around half health, 40% health left, it definitely summons those in. So if you didn't have fun fighting the mega manticore and you thought that fight was tough, assume the Titan Manticore is just 10 times tougher. That's my best guess. If I had to put in perspective without exaggerating, I'd say about 10 times tougher. Yes, we have more dangerous tools. We have good gear to fight this Titan. But these fights are just scary because every time we die, we're probably going to lose. And we end up with megas sprawled around the map. So we finally killed the Titan. We still need to now finish this mega fight. Because if I go back to base here, I would be really sad if then a mega showed up and wrecked my base as I'm jumping with joy over my spoils of war. So we actually have a couple of megas we need to clean up before we can go back to base before our fighting time is over. So remember, you're fighting the Titan Manticore, it's going to summon a Mega Manticores, and if you thought that wasn't scary enough, let's try the Titan Dragon. If you're wondering how to beat the Titan Dragon, it's the same thing you just saw. Yeah, I really think your only option here is, again, to just outrun it and nuke it. If you get too close to it, you get in that big slow effect, and that big slow effect is basically death. The Titan Dragon just hits way too hard. You cannot tank these hits. You're probably going to get blown up in 1 to 4 hits, and if you're lucky, 4, most likely less. And again, you see we're trailing little Mega Dragons. You like how I said that? Little Mega Dragons. Ha! Yeah, little Mega Dragons. Again, just like with the Titan Manticore, the Titan Dragon has a big slow. It hits way too hard. It has 10 million plus health, and it summons in Mega Dragons. Again, another incredibly challenging Mega to fight. All of these fights went down to the last couple of seconds of my 45-minute timer. I genuinely timed out more of these fights than I can want to admit, and a lot of them ended up in the sky barrier. A couple of times with some of the flying Titans, it seems like the sky barrier just snagged a wing and just ripped him out of the world. Wasn't real consistent or common. It was pretty rare. I did get a couple of kills done without that happening, which is good, but there was more than one occasion where I was a little bummed when that happened, because there's nothing worse than burning all your resources and getting down to just the end of a fight and then dying. I like to take these fights up by the sky barrier. 1, because I don't get other things in the fights, but 2, because it keeps them really straight. It makes them an easy target to aim for. If I fly up and down and up and down, all of a sudden I have this big S shape, and it makes it hard to aim at these Titans. I know the Titans are huge. I mean, they're huge. It's tough to appreciate how huge they are until you get close to one. They're around 50 to 100 foundations. I mean, they're real big. I know they're huge, but They're also moving fast, so as far as trying to get an easy shot lined up, I like to take the fights close to the world barriers. Those I feel like just made it easier to land my shots. Again, our biggest issue is DPS. We just almost don't do enough damage to take down the Titan Dragon. I understand the Primal Manticores have that huge X attack. It just doesn't do enough damage. I don't do enough damage consistently enough to survive long enough to kill it. We finally took down the Titan Dragon, and now we can play my new favorite game of Where's the Loot? Anybody know where the loot is? Yeah. I thought it might be under this rock, and I was wrong. So I'm going to run all over this body because I love playing Where's the Loot. And I just don't know. It's not on my inventory. I didn't find a bag dropped. It's not on my Tames inventory. I'm not really sure where to get into this body. I thought it'd be near the head. I thought it'd be near the body section, maybe through the wings. Ooh, we're inside of it. Goodness gracious, no. Yeah, I don't know. And don't trust the wings. Fall damage. Awesome. Good thing we weren't closer to a cliff. But really, look how huge this thing is. The claws are taller than my character. I mean, I don't have the tallest character, but genuinely, the Titan Dragon is just wicked big. All that being said, no idea where the loot is, and I'm stuck on the body in weird places. This is just my favorite game. It really is. Can you note the sarcasm in my voice? There's nothing worse than having a long, frustrating fight to then finally finish and have to fight a Mega, and then having a long, frustrating Mega fight to then not be able to get my loot. I kind of was surprised that's how it played out. Eventually, I got him. That's the moral of the story. It's in the body somewhere. Good luck with your own loot grabs. Hey, what's left to fight? Rodan. Titan Rodan. My suggestion is to don't fight it, quit, give up, go home, okay? Titan Rodan will kill you repeatedly, a lot. He's just too fast. He hits too hard, and I swear his little spinny ice attack is an iframe. It's not. I was able to damage him in the spinny ice attack, but he's just too dangerous. We got blown up. That's 140 points into speed, Primal Manticore. We also get a movement speed bonus from, oh no. Well, I guess we're swimming back to shore. You can enjoy the editing magic here. Maybe I'll snap my finger. Yeah, there we go. So I have 140 points in the movement speed. You notice here, though, we're healing him. Whoops. Yeah. So Titan Rodan heals from fire and ice. So what do? Like, that's the obvious question. Wait, I can't use a fire attack or an ice attack? Yeah. Your only choice is a Primal Tame, because the Primal Manticore's X attack actually is not fire or ice. It's a different damage type. It's the only thing that damages it that's not a nuke. You just have to survive long enough to do it. That's all. As long as you can just not get blown up. I discovered if I have 140 points in the movement speed on medium with the Dox corrupted Manticore armor, remember that gives you movement speed bonus, I still die too quick. See that big blue image on our status effect bar? The red ones are Pygmy. The blue one says we're so close to Rodan, we're slowing down, we're freezing to death. Our hypothermia, right? If we're inside that blue one, we can't escape. We need to attack Titan Rodan and get out of that big blue Rodan symbol radius to ever get enough distance between us. And your only chance at doing this is when it does that spin attack, because it flies a smidgen slower. One smidgen. You don't know what a smidgen is? Ask your mom. Listen, you want to say to me now, what about the Primal Dragon? Doesn't have that awesome Super Saiyan massive Goku Pikachu blast? Yeah, it's cool. This thing is so cool. And it's totally useless. Why is it totally useless? Well, I feel like it's slower than the Manticore, even when they have similar movement speed. Just how I feel. Maybe it's just, you know, completely a lie, but it's how I feel. But the other issue is I can't damage the Titan Rodan. Actually, it only gets that 10-second of health points back. Remember that little symbol there that says we're healing Rodan? Yeah, I tried all of the Titan Dragon's attack. I tried C, X, left click, right click, shift control, space bar, headbutt, kick, slam my laptop, run away. Listen, I just healed Rodan, so I'm just throwing this ridiculously expensive tame at Titan Rodan to die. And maybe I just did something wrong, but yeah, I got completely obliterated. By the way, that dragon had all of its points in the health points. I can't be tankier. I can't be tankier, and I can't, you know, I can't be any more defensive with my armors. I get blown up. Let's try again, but this time we put every single point in the movement speed, and we never let Rodan touch us. And that's your only hope. If Rodan touches you, you're probably dead. But as long as you can land one of your shots, which is kind of almost impossible feeling, and see here how we dipped under Rodan and then we pulled back up. He started that spin attack. We didn't so much dodge the damage from it as much as we got out of his AoE radius a little bit quicker, it felt. Maybe just the way we were lined up, but see how we got out of that little blue debuff. that Rodan big slowing area. If you can't get out of that escape velocity, if you can't get out of that, you're dead. You can't fight Rodan face to face. Titan Rodan is way too dangerous, hits way too hard, and again, a couple of times we get a little too close to the sun. Sorry, Icarus, and we blew up. Your best bet is to nuke it. I understand the Primal Dragon does Primal Manticore with its enhancement attack, that X attack. It does damage, but it just doesn't do enough damage. Our best bet was to land the nuke and to land a Primal Manticore blast. I actually failed this fight maybe better than 50 times. It was just terrible. I kept trying different combinations of attribute points, and I couldn't get away from. I just have to get out of the range of Rodan. I can't survive it. I'm not tanky enough, and there's that big spin. That's when Rodan's a little bit slower. I just need to survive it once and land one more shot. Please just die, Rodan. Come on. Why won't you die? Rodan doesn't summon any minions. Rodan's just king of smack. He doesn't care about anything. Thankfully, we do land the big hit, and now we play my new favorite game, Catch Rodan. Yeah, this was a surprise. I didn't know Rodan was going to do this, fly across multiple biomes, just several latitude and longitude lines, and then crash into what may be a nest-infested mega prime field zone. So now I've got to be really careful getting my loot. We can also now play my new favorite game. Where's the loot? It's not in that wing, and I can't walk any closer here. There's this huge like force field shield around Rodan, protecting it from getting too close. It's kind of weird, kind of wonky. So I thought it was in the head. I thought I could run down a wing. No worries. I'm just gonna lose my Manticore. Awesome. I don't know what happened here, but the only thing I love better than getting exhausted by a Titan fight is that I have my Primal Tame that survived to run away. It's cool. I think I can get into it right there, right in the body. Never mind. Well, I think this is the spot. I can't grapple. I'm going to build some stairs. No. Okay. We caught our Tame. We're going to try again. There it is. It's on the back. Okay. I don't know what's going on with our Tames this video, but I'll tell you what. They hate the Titans. Like, they see a Titan on the map and they just run straight at it. The only thing better than fighting Rodan and having to struggle to get the loot out is to find out Rodan swam to the bottom of the ocean, because you fought Rodan over the water, and now you have to survive long enough to get down here and get your loot out. Yeah, we're really at the bottom of the ocean. Awesome. If we don't drown or get killed by anything, we'll have a lot better time. Hey, I'm always doing a random shout out to subscriber pool. Thank you, Alvin Smith. Thank you, Arkarsh Gupta. Thank you, Alexandra Webner. And thank you, Usub. I really appreciate the support. If you would like to get mentioned in a future video, subscribe now. Right now, push the subscribe button. Thanks. If you can find Titan Rodan once he falls into the water, or she, whoever Titan is, then good luck. And if you can get down there and not die, good luck. And if you can survive to the surface, good luck. And if you're like me, your Tame is still aggroed on who knows what. So you're just gonna, swim for sure. I'm just gonna snap my fingers and pray I can do a little editing magic, because I can. And you won't suffer through the swim back with me, which was kind of nerve-wracking because I really thought I might die or get eaten by something, which is how I always feel in the water. But whatever. Listen, we're back at base. Was it worth killing Rodan? No, there's literally no reason to fight the Titans. Don't touch them. Sure, we get good loot. The only loot we care about are Primal, Tears, and the Soul Crystals. We killed at least 10 of every Titan to get these loot pools. So seriously, put a thumbs up on this video, because I'm done. Hey, we got the blue Soul Crystal from Rodan. The dragon also got us this red Soul Crystal. And we're also checking if we got any Rex drops. Looks like not from Rodan, not from the dragon. Again, great loot tables, but nothing we need right now. We've seen all these things before. I didn't differentiate between if we killed a Mega or not. And we got another red crystal from the Manticore and some Rex summons. So it looks like you have an option there. You could fight the dragon or the Manticore for your Titan. Both would have the crystal, but the Manticore at least would then have that Rex summon, so that's a big plus. And the eel, again, was a little easier to farm. Big air quotes there, compared to Titan, Rodan, Dragon, and Manticore. And it has Rex summons and Primal drops, so this isn't a bad one to farm if you can get efficient getting that eel down. Hey, we killed at least 10 of them, and I messed up. Sometimes I was differentiating between if I got a mega drop, I started separating from the Titan drops, and then I was like, well, that doesn't make sense. The megas that spawned in were part of the Titans fight. Their drop tables should be included. So whatever you see in here is definitely what you get from fighting the Titan, and or if you killed some of the mega minions as well, which I suggest not leaving random megas aggroed to you walking around the map. That sounds like a good way to have a bad time. Brood Queen gave us the poison crystal, which we're going to need. So there's your blue crystal, your red crystal, your green crystal. You only need those to fight one thing. There's literally one thing left to fight. If you're watching this video at a later date, you want to make sure you're up to date on what the change notes have been in docs. Maybe these crystals have changed around where they're located. Maybe there's a tier above Primal. You never know. As of right now, the current state of docs, there's only one thing left to fight. We have the crystals to start the fight. If only I can find the energy, the power, and the motivation to get this fight done. Titan Overlord, I hope you're ready for episode 29. Until next time. If you learned something or enjoyed this video, share it with a friend. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. If you have joined and enjoyed before, welcome back. If you would like to see more quality content, please consider joining me in supporting the channel through Patreon and utilizing the affiliated links. Thanks!